like immediately.
I guess this podcast is my way of building a list.
There you go.
Welcome to the Daylos Diaries.
I mean, it's funny because, I just became so disenchanted by the concept of traditional publishing.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It just feels like what I want to write versus what they perceive to be popular fiction are just two different things. And I said the word gatekeeping, and I don't mean I've been published on NHL.com as a Golden Knights writer. I don't need someone to validate that I'm a writer. Like, I feel that's what people are looking for when they're publishing, when they're querying. They're looking for some type of validation, just generally, just overall. So what do you like most about being independent? I mean, you mentioned the creative freedom. And I think I made that argument to my MFA fellow peers in my MFA program. And they're like, why don't you want to trade from? I'm like, I don't like it.
Well, okay, so there's a number of things. There are things, obviously, I'll just say this outright. There are things that I find very frustrating about being independent. But the things I like about it far outweigh the downsides of it. And going off of what you just said about gatekeeping and the what's popular, traditional publishing seems to be more of a reactionary business where they're looking and seeing what are the trends right now and what can we buy and capitalize on what's hot right now. The problem with that is that even if a publisher, forget agent, even if a publisher gets your book, it's not going to come out for years, at which point the trend, things move so fast, that trend might be, either on its way out or the market might be fully saturated or what have you. I like to think of independent publishing as, it's a little bit that, writing to market is definitely a thing. But if you're someone who's interested in following, okay, if you're more of a speculator, let's say, and you're okay, what do I think is going to come next? There's much more potential to do things like that in independent publishing, and you can do it faster. So if you, are working on something that you think is going to be hot and it turns out it's really getting hot, you can move up your timeline. Or if, you're working on something and it seems the trend is going completely the opposite way and you feel like pivoting, you can do that too. It's that sort of flexibility and movement for entrepreneurs who are interested in that kind of, market research, that there's a lot of really fun opportunity. That's what I like best about independent publishing myself.
Yeah, I just find it more fun.
It is.
I find a concept of just being able to write what I want to write and speculate a little bit on what. And for me, it's right now I'm writing a Cyberpunk samurai story.
Nice.
Because I got into Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I feel that's going to be a big market down the road as we kind of see more technology kind of take over our world a little bit. Yeah. I think just a little bit of prediction here. Mm-hmm. But just generally, it just feels like independent publishing allows you to be that creative. Yeah. Would I love the marketing budget of a traditional Big Four pub? Of course I would.
But that's the thing. I feel like that's what they sell you on. Mm-hmm. But I've heard that you do you have to do a major chunk of your marketing anyway. Mm-hmm. So, especially if you're a debut. So I'm not even sure that there's a, return on investment from a marketing sense.